Well, tonight, in our second installment of stories focused on issues in the American South, we look at abortion. State houses from Missouri to Georgia and many in between have committed to passing stringent abortion bills as part of a broad strategy to challenge Roe v. Wade. Our I-24 News senior national correspondent Michael Shure continues our Voices of the South series from Louisiana and Mississippi.
A wave of restrictive abortion bills have swept across the South in 2019, redefining viability and eliminating rape and incest as qualifiers for the procedure.
This bill was not an effort to undo Roe v. Wade in any way. It was, for me, and I believe the legislature that voted for it, it was to say, we have to draw the line somewhere.
Valerie Hodges is a state senator in Louisiana and co-author of the controversial fetal heartbeat bill.
The big issue has been rape and incest. Having an abortion is only going to further traumatize that woman.
Hodges says the anecdotes support her position.
I know that for a fact. I have friends who had abortions, and it does not take away the fact of being raped. It does not take away the fact that they got pregnant by their rapist.
The bill was signed by the just re-elected Governor John Bel Edwards, a Democrat, perhaps unusual in the rest of the country, but not in the South.
We have very conservative Democrats in Louisiana, both white and black.
Ted James is also in the Louisiana State Senate, where he opposed the bill, but not the governor.
When I championed him 4 years ago, it was because of his convictions, and his convictions led him to sign that bill.
But those in the pro-choice community are not as forgiving of this dynamic.
It's great for people to have their personal beliefs, and they should hold those, but they should not impose those and not empower the government to take the rights of women away.
Alana Odumze-Bear, executive director of the Louisiana ACLU, thinks that this is part of a larger strategy.
They want the pure abortion ban to go up to the Supreme Court.
But this is a law that is first being fought on the ground throughout the South, including in Mississippi.
The building behind me is Jackson Women's Health Organization, fondly known as the Pink House. It's the last remaining abortion clinic in the state of Mississippi.
Dorinda Hancock is a volunteer escort at the besieged but to many cherished clinic.
We explain to them what they need to go inside with, and then we get them to the clinic door with as little harassment as possible from the Christian zealots that'll be screaming at them from the sidewalk.
And those zealots, as she calls them, are there every day, often threatening the workers, always harassing the patients.
Many times they've never been to Jackson before. To them it's a big city, and they're already nervous from the drive, from the decision, everything they've had to go through.
The protesters are trying to get the women to go across the street to a crisis pregnancy center where we were not allowed to film.
I would say on the average, probably one, maybe every other week, they convince to go across the street with them to the crisis pregnancy center.
The protesters say it's more. This woman gave only her first name, Dana. She is a regular almost every day, like many of the others in Jackson.
We have several saves a month, one or two a week for sure, and we give baby showers and we help girls all the time.
In Louisiana, like in Mississippi, there are more pregnancy crisis centers than there are abortion providers. They exist to convince women not to terminate pregnancies. Cindy Collins owns one in Slidell, Louisiana.
Well, this place started in 1986, so we've been here for a long time.
But it was an abortion she had 13 years earlier that she says started her down this path.
In 1973, I was 19, I'm 65 now, and I can look back and I can see what abortion has done to my life.
Collins is supportive of the restrictive legislation and even of the language on rape.
I know that the trauma of rape is very, very severe, but with proper counseling, a woman can get through that in the healing process. Abortion is final.
But many hope the new laws are not. Jackson Clinic Director Shannon Brewer says they make the situation dire.
It's pretty scary sometimes, honestly. Normally, the laws don't come like this, where they're going in a lot of different states at the same time, so it's a lot on everybody.
But like so many on both sides, she is not deterred.
Of course, we're going to be hopeful regardless. We're going to fight it. We're going to continue to fight.
Michael Shure, I-24 News, Jackson, Mississippi.
Our thanks to Michael. Louisiana's abortion bill is tied to Mississippi's, which was just shut down at the appeals court level. So the legal fight will continue on a trajectory seemingly headed to the Supreme Court.